Hello and welcome to Giant Mess, a super sloppy sports and entertainment podcast that's hosted by a giant mess. That's me, the Real Cinch Neal Lynch. I'm a former fourth-string college quarterback and middle relief pitcher who earned himself a film and media studies degree. Woof. And now I'm a single dad who likes to talk New York Giants football, Mets baseball, movies, TV shows, with some funny life stories mixed in for good measure. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about my life. The hell has that been like? What have I gone through? All the hardships? No hardships. Just being a prisoner of my own mind and struggling mentally. The good stuff. The stuff that makes this podcast tick. So I guess I could tease this episode better, but there's no better tease than no tease at all. Oh shit, brother. So without further ado, let's get it started up in here. All right, so last episode that was life-centric, life-oriented, was back in April. It was like mid-April. I just listened back to it before recording this, and it's like I actually sounded like I want to say manic, but I think I was trying really hard to move on and to move past what had happened at the end of March. And I don't know that I'm completely over it yet, which is banarnar, dude. Like, it shouldn't take, so if you're not familiar, I got dumped by my girlfriend on the car ride back from the airport, where we had just spent 4 days in lovely Key West, Florida, over spring break. And it was abrupt. I don't want to compare it to I don't want to say the word trauma or anything like that. People are suffering all over this little blue marble of ours. So I don't want to go down that road and make myself the victim here, but it's hard to shake. I mean, we only dated we're only officially a boyfriend, girlfriend for like 3 months. It's so absurd. January, February, March. Yeah, it was a little over 3 months, almost 4 months. It has now been April, May, June, 3 months since she dumped me. And I still think about her every freaking day. And it's driving me nuts. I just can't shake it. I mean, I blocked her number. I unfollowed her on all the socials. I deleted all the pictures from my phone. And then it's just I can't shake it. So, I definitely haven't completely spiraled. I think that's, there was a stretch there where I was having night terrors every night. I think the stress and the anxiety of, just getting way, way too inside my own head about I don't think I'll ever come across something like that again. Like, it was such a great, not never, but knowing that it took me about 2 or 3 years to get in that kind of relationship, to get to that position and to have it be so awesome and feel so good. And I'm not saying that I 100% screwed it up, but I didn't play it right. I don't think. I think there's a way that I could have gone about that would have been a better route. Odds are it would not have lasted. And maybe she saw the tea leaves and was like, yeah, read the tea leaves and was like, yeah, if we don't feel like this has a strong possibility, then what's the point of me meeting your daughter? What's the point of you meeting my mom? Let's just nip it in the bud and let's stop it right here, right now, so that it doesn't go any further, so that we don't go down this path where, because that's the last thing I want to do to my daughter, who's 5, is I don't want to introduce her to just a litany of girlfriends. Because that's what my ex-wife's father did to her. Whereas like, and this is so and so, and this is so. I mean, like, just in the time that we were dating, he introduced her to like 3 or 4 different women. I mean, dated or were together. We were together. Officially, I guess 9 years. Technically 9 years. I don't know. So in those 9 years, I think 3 or 4 or 5 different women. And, she's an adult now, obviously. I didn't, but so she could probably handle it better, but still, it probably was not a good feeling having to endure that. And so I think that kind of stuck in the back of my head and was like, well, I don't want to be this guy that, introduces my girlfriend to my daughter, multiple different women to my daughter, because then it's just going to confuse the fuck out of her. And so I guess, my ex-girlfriend didn't want that either. So, but April was for sure one of the angriest months of my life. It was just anger, resentment, contempt. Like it was just every day, like just ranting and raving and swearing to myself, because of what had gone down. Just repeating to myself, I cannot believe she did that. I cannot believe she did that. I cannot, like, just acceptance, right? I mean, I've kind of slid it in to other episodes here and there. And those are the kind of themes that are popping up in a lot of the movies and TV shows that I've been watching, and in my reviews and recaps. Acceptance, I looked up all the steps that happen after a breakup, and it's like, yep, check. So the ability to, I mean, I'm sure, it just comes up in I haven't had a lot of conversations with friends, but it's like unavoidable that I bring it up to them. And I'm sure they must be so goddamn sick of it by now. Just like, fucking dude. My one friend was just like, she sucks. She stinks. Move on. It's like, yeah, I mean, you say that, but you didn't know her. You didn't do all the things that we did. It's like, that's easier said than done. This is also coming from a guy who married his high school sweetheart. They've known each other for fucking 30 years now. So, it's like yeah, dude, you figured it out very early on. And it's been, I'm sure they have their issues and problems, but it's just like, so I kind of, it just sticks. It's hard, like I said, hard to shake, but I've been trying to work through it in my own way. I ended up re-downloading all these fucking stupid dating apps. Ugh, man. It just feels like I'm looking at the same profile over and over and over again. I mean, a lot of it was like, you better be financially and emotionally stable. And it's like, hey, if no, not there. So that's a no from me. If you I mean, just so many demands and whatnot. I love travel, looking for a passport, buddy. It's like, I'm not there with you right there just yet. I don't know if I'll ever be. Just like globe trotting. So that's been a real bummer. And you got to pay. I mean, like I've mentioned this 1,000 times last year. You have to pay out the ass to get any kind of traction. And I'm not getting, and granted, it's only been maybe a month that I re-downloaded everything. And I do not spend as much time as I did last year, going through all the different profiles and whatnot. But it's deflating, man. It's just like every single app, I've got 7 of them now, and every single app, just to see who likes you, you gotta fucking pay. I mean, I get it. Nothing's for free, and they have to create value, blah, 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 revenue. I get it. But I would love to just start an app where it's just like, and I guess it's that Facebook dating is that to a certain extent. So Facebook has a dating feature that I don't mind. It's decent, but here's what I'm getting at here. So the whole, like, my ex-girlfriend in the car saying, I'm not going to explain myself. I needed an explanation for that. So I did some research, and it says it often signals a strong desire for space and a clear intention to end the relationship. It indicates finality, meaning she's made up her mind, doesn't see a point in discussing the reasons, suggesting she won't change her decision. It indicates emotional distance. She is unwilling to engage in further emotional conversations, possibly due to hurt, anger, or desire to avoid conflict. It indicates boundaries. By refusing to explain, she's setting a firm boundary, indicating that she does not want to be questioned or persuaded. And it indicates that she is moving on. She may already be emotionally detached and focused on moving forward, making further contact unnecessary or even painful. While it's not impossible for her feelings to change in the future, it's important to respect her wishes at this time. Reaching out could be perceived as disrespectful and might further push her away. It's best to give her the space she needs to heal and process the breakup. If you feel the need for closure, try to reflect on the relationship yourself and identify any potential issues that might have contributed to the breakup. And make sure to record and distribute and publish a 3-hour episode on your podcast talking about it. So no, I don't want to spend another 3 hours on it. Like, because I know everyone wants to jump off a friggin' very tall building when they start to hear me talking about it. And I've talked about it to death. But I thought I was curious that one of the Google search trends newsletters. So I subscribed to this Google Trends newsletter, search trends newsletter. And one of them was specifically focused on breakups and relationships. Then one of the questions was, is it okay to miss your ex while in a relationship? So the answer is yes. Due to grief and loss, good memories, and comparison. It's, comparison is something that humans, every time I say humans, I feel like I'm an alien overlord or something like that. When people, it's natural for people to compare, right? We do comparisons all the time. But there is a sense of loss with a breakup, and it takes time to process it. And it's missing my ex is a natural part of the grieving process. So that's good. As annoying and irritating and bothersome as it is for literally everyone else in my life. Like, dude, I mentioned that I deleted all her photos, blocked her, unfollowed her socials. And then it's like, I unblocked her on my phone. I re-downloaded the photos that we took together just because they're good memories. Probably not the best thing to do because it does create trigger feelings of nostalgia and longing. So maybe I should re-delete those photos. But there's just uncertainty. It goes back to like ambiguity and uncertainty, not knowing what's coming down the pike, not knowing what's next, and knowing the level of work, quote unquote work, like it's not work, but knowing the level of effort that I put into finding her and being with her and becoming a couple. It's like, am I willing to do that again? It's like, I don't know. So that's what's tough. It's like, yes, I mentioned this in my therapy. It's like, I could have very easily spent all my downtime, combing through these profiles. And I mean, what's really weird is I feel like I've combed through a lot and I've gotten next to no matching. And so there's like 0 conversations going on right now. And I know that's probably just me being impatient. But it's like, in my head, I'm thinking, well, it took me 2 to 3 years to get into that one, to find that woman, to get into that relationship. And now it's probably going to take another 2 to 3 years, which would put me in a cool 45, 46. And then I'll have another 3-month relationship that will end even worse than that, than how my last one ended. So, If you find yourself constantly thinking about your ex, comparing them to your current partner, or fantasizing about rekindling the relationship, it could be a sign that you haven't fully moved on. Here's what you can do if you're missing your ex. Acknowledge your feelings. Focus on the present. Talk to your partner. Seek help if needed. Don't let those feelings overshadow the potential for happiness and fulfillment. Focus on the present. Allow yourself to heal. Reflection. I don't know. Yeah, there's all kinds of questions here that I don't think we go over. I don't know why I thought that would be good content. So I guess what I'm getting to here is like, you might be saying, Neil, you have a pretty fucking grim outlook, dude. You know, you need to buck up, buttercup. But then I came across this Keeper. I guess it was in this breakups and relationships newsletter trend thingy, whatever. Keeper.ai. It's a calculator. What % of women in the United States meet my standards? Which I guess if you ask a lot of my buddies, they'd be like, Neil has standards? What? It's true. Even I have standards. Wow. So I decided to fuck around with it. And there are a couple of options here that you can toggle. I think there's like a dozen or so different things that you can answer or switch in the settings. So my settings were age 39 to 48. I don't have it in me to date a 25-year-old. I'm not Dave Portnoy or Leonardo DiCaprio. I would need to have way more money and fame to be dating anyone in their 20s at this point. So 39 to 48, it's like, well, I'm 43. You take away 4 or 5 years, it's like 39. 48 would be, 3 or 4 years older. Figure that's a pretty good range, 10-year range. I think the maximum I was willing to go, and this is for sure very weird thought process. And I don't know why I think this, mostly because it's probably a little mental block of mine. But I used to think, well, if you're 18 years younger than me, I can't do it, because that means I was an adult when you were born, and that just doesn't jive with me. Then I looked up, like, when can a boy reproduce? Like, when can they actually, yeah, you took sex ed, you know what I'm talking about. And it was like age 11 or 12, I think. So I think I've lowered it, the age difference, maximum age difference that I'm willing to accept, to like 12 or 11. And then I thought about, well, like my mother-in-law was 12 years older than me, or is 12 years older than me. And I'm just like, ugh. So I think I was like, maybe 10 years is the max difference. And so now it's just really a 10-year range for me. The height, I put 5 foot to 5'11". The minimum income, I think the average income of a woman in New Jersey is $56,000. So I put 50 to 60,000. Ethnicity, any. Hair color, any. Eye color, any. Education, bachelor's degree, which I know is a little bit snobbish, right? It's like there are plenty of smart, educated women that didn't go to college, didn't get a degree, maybe just graduate from high school, and you're like, I want to live my life. So, I mean, I could probably remove that, but religion, any. Smokes, no. Going against the whole mantra of she smokes, she pokes. That's not what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for just pokes, or I poke. Drinks, yes. Exclude married, yes. Dude, I ain't no homewrecker. Exclude the obese. I said yes. But it's like, I think they pulled this AI pulls from the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, maybe, like census, maybe. So obese is usually, must be defined by BMI, which is just, here's a real quick test. Picture someone who's obese. Yeah. My 600-pound life, that's obese. Not like, oh, well, I'm 20, 30 pounds overweight in my mind. But so I said exclude obese. at first, 0.94% of all women in the United States meet my standards. And you're saying, whoa, dude, whoa, that's a very small percentage. But it's actually around 1.6 million American women. So if I include the obese and expand the age range to 18 and over, it gets to 3%. So there's 1 in a million out there just waiting. But yeah, so you can imagine, like, if I'm on these dating apps, only so many are single. So many are in that age range. So many are within the range that I want. You know, I kind of go back and forth about, like, well, this is how stupid my thought process is. I've now ruled out anyone in Philly or New York City. I'm just like, it's just too much of a hassle. But yet I did research about, like, what major cities are within a 7-hour drive or like a 5-hour flight or 3-hour flight or something like that. Like, no. I won't possibly date anyone in Brooklyn or the Bronx. But Sheboygan? Hell yeah. So I have this, like, fantasy that I'll meet someone in, like, fucking Wisconsin or, you know, Iowa or, like, some place I wouldn't think of. And then we, like, you know, start us nice and slow, get to talking, and then I get catfished. Wouldn't be the first time. So yeah, yeah, it's just not looking good for your boy in terms of outlook on that. That's enough about relationship talk and breakups and all that shit. All I can say is these dating apps are, like I said, they're just so demotivating and discouraging. You know, like, I want to date a man. I want a man who's dating with intention. What the fuck does that mean, dude? Like, I just see all these women that are like, there's no way you're doing. How are you doing all that? Like, I have 3. I was making the joke when I'm visiting my friends. It was like, there was one woman who was like, I have 3 triplets. I think she said I have 3 kids. They're triplets and they're all 15 and they take up all of my time and they're my world. And it's like, every single parent says that they're my world. They come first. No fucking shit. They come first. I get it. They come first. But, like, I barely have time to myself. So, but looking for someone to, it's like, what, dude? And I just get so fucking judgy on these things, man. Like, wait, you're 41, you've never been married, no kids? What's going on there? You know, that kind of, it's like, what? And so I just judge too much. I can't help it. Like, you have 3 kids. I don't know if I could handle, like, I don't know if you can insert me into a situation where I would be able to handle 3 kids that I didn't raise or that I missed a huge chunk of their life. Like, you know, and I guess you shouldn't do that, right? You know, astro project yourself too far in the future because you're already fucking yourself, which that's definitely in my future, right? So, you know, I don't know. Ugh. Then you have there are women on there that are, like, married and they're like, my husband knows I'm on here just looking for a little fun. He does his thing, I do my thing. I'm like, well, so what is your relation? What is it called? Ethical non-monogamy, ENM or something. So, like, he knows you're fucking other dudes. You know that he's fucking other women, and you're able to just, like, go to bed in the same marital bed at night. And, like, do you guys still do it? Do the nasty? I just can't wrap my head around it. And then to get involved in that, it's like, wait, I don't want to. So what is this exactly? You're looking for a relationship or just like a one night stand? I don't understand. Not here for hookups or one night stands. Yeah, I know. I get it. So rough. It's just woof. So I guess, you know, when it comes to a relationship, I do think I have high standards. I'd like to think of myself as being very easygoing and casual and chill, but maybe not. Why couldn't I just accept that she just sits there with her arms crossed looking pissed and that's her having fun? Just accept that. It's probably not the truth, but just accept it. Definitely don't bring it up to her the next day when she's holding your hand. All right. So yeah, that's the relationship crap that's going on right now. My game plan is this summer, it's already like half over, which is fucking nuts. But I looked it up and I was like, when do most women go on dating apps? Like January, which I think that's, it goes for everyone, right? January, new year, new you resolution, going to find a man. And then I think September, October, cuffing season. Summer's over. Everyone's done flirting and gallivanting. No, flirting and what is it called? Flinging, summer fling, right? That's over. Now people are looking to settle down and cuff up because the weather's turning a little bit cooler and you want someone to snuggle with on the couch while watching Netflix and football. So I figure I'll actually pay for one of the dating apps starting in September. I think that's the move because it's a 6-month membership, guaranteed. I sign up for it, and like a week later, I meet a girl, then we become boyfriend and girlfriend. It's like, yeah. Well, I guess money well spent, whatever. So yeah, 6-month plan, and then that should end like March 1st. And if I haven't found anyone, then I'm gonna cut off my member. No. So drastic. I don't know if I would re-up after that. I don't know if I'd re-up, but yeah, that's Yeah, the night terrors were nuts. I mean, it was like every night, every other night, night terrors. I think there was most of April and then into May, where I think was it my June therapy session or maybe my May? Yeah, so it was going on for like a month or two, where it was just like guaranteed night terror tonight, guaranteed. And I was trying everything. I was trying like a whole mixture of things that probably was not helping. It's just like, what if I mix this and this? It was like, I'm down the lab with the beakers and the whatnots. Protective goggles, of course. Just mixing and matching stuff to make me just put my brain to sleep. So that was fun going through that. All right, so that's the episode. What's on the horizon? We're supposed to go to a lamb roast on Saturday, and it's like, I don't want lamb. I know my daughter's not going to eat lamb. My buddy was like, yeah, it's pretty hardcore. We had a 5-year-old kid eat the lamb's brains last year. I was like, I'm about to pass out. So I don't know what's going to happen there. Saturday is also the 18th anniversary of my father passing. So that'll be a weird day. August going down to South Carolina for a week. I got the fantasy football draft coming up. And then it's my daughter's birthday. And football season right around the corner. Oh boy. A whole lot of movies to review. Hitman, Monkey Man, Godzilla -1. I just watched Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire. Yuck. Madame Web. And then Invincible Season 2. I guess I could review that. Probably going to finish up The Boys pretty soon. Going to finish up The Acolyte, House of Dragons. There's a whole bunch of stuff we can flap gums about, dude. I didn't even get all to the crazy questions that my friggin' daughter asks. Maybe I'll do that next time. As for right now, I bid you adieu. Thanks for listening. Muchas gracias para viendo, for watching. And talk to you next time. Adios, muchachos.